Hey guys, StarCraft here, and I saw today the first episode of HBO's Watchmen, and it's, boy, how do I put this? Okay. It's like this. I didn't hate it. Didn't love it. I didn't hate it. And there's a few things, and a lot of it comes up from how the beginning starts. But beforehand, one of the key things I want to get out of the way is that I found out just recently that apparently this was not originally intended to be a Watchmen project. Damon Lindelof was working on something more original, and then those around him kept pointing out, you realize that this is just enough like Watchmen and people are going to accuse you of ripping it off. To which Lindelof then decided, oh crud, they're right. Might as well get the license, integrate Watchmen elements into it, and just go full all the way with it. Which, I don't blame him for that actually. It actually makes a lot more sense, especially with how things play out, but I'll just start right off talking about the beginning. It opens up, you see this silent movie going on where you eventually see this black marshal who ends up apprehending this white criminal and sheriff who ends up actually being a criminal stealing people's cattle. And I'm just seeing this and it's like, who is this? In fact, let me just double check what the name was. It was for Marshall Bass Reeves. And I'm like, okay, no way in hell would they make a silent movie about this, a black guy back then, and make it such a big heroic character. No way. And I'm right about that. But it turns out Bass Reeves is a real guy. In fact, he was the first black deputy marshal, captured 3,000 guys and criminals, only had to shout 14 times in self-defense. Real guy. And I'm like, wow, I did not know about this. So while the silent film is fake, the actual character is completely legit. And I'm like, okay, they're using a made-up silent movie to actually explain about a real guy that actually existed. Interesting. Then there's this big attack going on. Bombs, shooting. It's in a place called Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921. And then you're hearing airplanes flying, explosions, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. Wasn't the alternate history portion supposed to start with Night Owl becoming a costume and eventually Dr. Manhattan? Isn't that when it's supposed to diverge? Why are they making up stuff here? Then I decided I'll look it up. Oh my God, I did not know about the race riots of Tulsa and Oklahoma in 1921 at all. Even the airplanes, there were airplanes dropping incendiary explosives. It is considered one of the worst moments of mass racial attacks. And I had no idea. I mean, seriously. This felt like something that you would see in a movie that's entirely fictional, but this is our actual history? God almighty. I'm not even kidding. I read about it, I'm like, what? So yeah, you open up with that. No idea exactly how it's going to connect, but it does establish that this town that's basically where this series is going to take place in, had a long history of it getting that bad. So we jump to a alternate version of present day that followed after the events of Watchmen, of course, as basically we have two factions: the 7th Kalvary, which are which is that group of people who are wearing Rorschach masks and everything, and basically they got their hands on the journal and believe, oh yeah, someone attacked, but as far as they're concerned, even though it's spelled out quite clearly in the journal, they think the government is responsible for everything. They're half right, and thus they twist Rorschach's morals to match their white nationalist mentality. You know, knowing at least that they're twisting his words and not just following exactly what he had makes sense. It actually makes more sense. But because of these factions being around and attacking people, and if they recognize you, they'll go after and take out your whole family, they implemented basically cops now wear masks, and those that were cops beforehand and eventually become vigilantes as a way of skirting it. So as far as the public are concerned, they're retired or dead or gone or missing or whatnot. But in actuality, they're still out kicking ass at everything. So things like that. And well, I don't remember all the characters' names. I have to admit that. I mean, I should have done this immediately, but things kept getting mixed up. In fact, this is my 5th time recording because everything just got so busy after I saw it. But Regina King's character, like a lot of characters actually are in this, is endearing. Very interesting character, and it's quite clear. It looks like a few years have passed since the last time they dealt with the 7th Kalvary, but now they're making it clear, no, they're going to be making a move, and thus, you know, she gets a little bighorn message, which means come on in, and we already see her kicking ass at everything, and again, basically the way it is, it's not black versus white, as far as I noticed. It was not black versus white, because there's plenty of white characters who are good characters, who are not saying like, oh, I'm not racist. No, they're like legit good characters interacting with black characters. Yes, and it is coming up a bit of a political tension, but given the history of this town, given how it seems everything's been going after the events of Watchmen, looking at it, yes, Lindelof is kind of bulldozing it into this, but still makes some bit of sense actually when you really think about it. Now, as far as, since it is in Tulsa, does this mean the 7th Cavalry are all around the country? Seems to imply that way, because why would it just focus there? But right now, most of the focus is in Tulsa, obviously. And basically, now as far as the public is concerned, we find out Ozymandias is believed dead, but played by Jeremy Irons, he's still alive and kicking. Robert Redford is president, just like in Doomsday Clock. Both of them are these are playing off of a little joke at the end of Watchmen, where it says he's running for president. In fact, Redford's come out of retirement again since he was back in Avengers Endgame to do this, which good for him. I'm glad for that. And basically, as it plays out, the characters are endearing characters. I actually like these characters, and I feel like, okay, they're good people. Like, there's Regina King's character, her daughter, when she's talking, doing it at the school for career day, a kid asks, did you get your money out of through dubious means? Her daughter attacks him, then later on, she's telling him off, telling the daughter, like, you shouldn't have done that. And why'd you do that? Because you wanted to hit him. You shouldn't have done that still. He's a racist. No, he's not a racist, but he's well on his way. I like that. It's basically saying, no, he's not. He's an idiot kid. But he's getting close to it. That's fine. It's not saying, oh yeah, he's racist just like his dad. No. The writing is making it clear, even if a kid says it, doesn't mean that they are racist yet. Because there's always a good chance of change. But, like she said, he's well on his way. Alright. And basically all this whole first episode is just entirely set up. Although the main guy, Judd Apatow, that's Daniel Johnson's character, it's heavily implied for the most part, especially when you see the owl ship show up, that this is Dan, as in Night Owl. And I'll get to why I feel bad about that, but if it is, and he's just gone undercover and everything, like we saw hinted at the end of Watchmen, alright, he's actually being, again, a good guy and everything, that's what it shows, and yeah. And now I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, oh, this sucks, oh, this is bad. Yes, guys, this is overly political. Does this fully fit with the Watchmen universe? Not entirely. I get that. But for what this is, I'm still interested in how they're handling things. Like, you have a point where Regina King's character brings in one of the members of the 7K, but the way they interrogate him, they have him in this big room full of monitors showing up these different images and everything. So while he's talking, he's still, at the same time when I'm trying to focus on the answer, his mind is still reacting to the images around him. I like that. It's a type of interrogation that's not just having to beat the shit out of him. Although then she later, once it's confirmed, oh no, he knows stuff because of that interrogation. Regina goes the old-fashioned beat the shit out of him. Of course. And again, there's a lot of mystery stuff. A lot of things we don't know what's going on. And I know people are going to complain about this. I know a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, it's all about the politics, black and white and all that. Yeah, Like I said, this wasn't supposed to be a Watchmen originally. It was retooled as a Watchmen. And again, the politics are a big, huge part of it. But at the same time, it's not any clear-cut villains. It's not any... The most we're getting to, of course, is the white nationalists, of course, still being out there. But again, the fact there are still good white people. A lot of the cops were white. A lot of the vigilantes were white, as well as black. And they're not treated as all bad. It's just those that are the 7K who are, again, perverting what Rorschach had done. So again, it's Lindelof, like I said, putting it into the Watchmen filter. Who knows what that was supposed to originally be. But again, with that in mind, this could have gone a lot worse, in my opinion. Is it the worst thing we've seen? Not even close. Is it a masterpiece? Again, not even close. But I kind of put it in the middle. Like I said, I got an enjoyment out of it. That stuff in the beginning with those two, with the silent film and the Tulsa race riots, makes some sense with how things are going in this town, how things are starting to boil over. And really, if you're going to have something like this be, the epicenter for things boiling over, makes some sense, actually. Again, we don't know what's entirely going on still. That's what's all set up to how this world works. Then the ending where we find out that Judd has been hung by this black guy in a wheelchair who Regina King had met earlier, asking, "You think I could lift 200 pounds? She sarcastically like, "Yeah, I think you can." Then we find out that he somehow hung Judd, which, if this was Dan, pisses me off. But the acting was good. I thought the acting was pretty strong. The costumes are actually very interesting. Action, what action we had was actually good. And again, the characters felt endearing for the most part. At least the good guys. Bad guys, wouldn't. And very, I'm evil, but still some good moments overall. For a starting episode, it's got my interest, is what I'll say. Am I going to go be one of those who say, like, it should burn? Well, obviously I'm not. But I'm also not going to say, oh, everyone should watch it. I just went in with an open mind, and I didn't mind it. That's really all I have to say about this right now. I thought it was good. I'd give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. Again, nothing groundbreaking, but nothing horrible either, in my opinion. So, yeah. That's really all I had to say about this. Check it out if you want, if you can, if you have HBO. If not, who knows? Just download if you have to. I don't know. But, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Next Marvel Zombies will be tomorrow, unfortunately, because things got a little busy. I wasn't able to get one out yesterday. And today, this is going to be today's video. Unless I put in a second one. I might. I don't know. But until then, catch you guys later. Hey guys, StarCraft here, and this is the next morning after seeing it, and after giving it some thought, I've kind of realized, yeah, it is a lot more worse off than I thought. I'd still give it 6 out of 10. It's, yeah, I'll be amazed. It's not really Watchmen. It's more of a, not as bad in the acting and action department, but the story, like I said, it's clear Lindelof, it's been very clear Lindelof did not intend to be Watchmen, and it shows. And yeah, what was I thinking? The stuff with Rorschach, even the fact that these guys are misinterpreting what he's doing, unless you go through hoops like revealing, oh, the guy who has the journal knows the truth and is only giving half truths to everyone. Unless that's the case, then Lindelof does not understand Rorschach at all. And yeah, the thumbnail I'm not going to change because I'm adding this to my video and I can't re-edit it, but yeah, a lot of my goodwill is giving it some thought was just more out of the fact that after I saw it, there's a reaction to, oh, it's not as bad as I thought. Not as good either, obviously, but just wanted to add that on there. I thought about it, and it's a lot more lousier than I thought. I'm still not going to say it's the worst thing out there, but it's not Watchmen at all. And I think we all knew that going in. So, yeah. Still 6 out of 10, but not in a good way. That's all I got to say.